Okay, welcome back. This is the third and last tutorial on the toy car. I'm going to first of all show you how to do some wheels. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to measure using over here the measurement. So this is called the dimensions, and you should see this on your menu already because that should be on the 2016 menu. And I've got a measurement here of 63 millimeters. That's my diameter, the maximum diameter of a wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use that. I just use that as a sort of a handy little tape measure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle on the floor. I'm going to make it 60, 20. And then I'm going to pull this up 60. And there we have, once again, another sort of shortened rectangular sort of prism. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to first of all find my midpoint and draw across the block. That's all I have to do. And then I'm going to draw a circle on the block, and the thing is it will find it straight away. Alright, once I've done that, I'm going to rub away that middle line because I don't want that anymore, and I'm actually going to pull these bits away. Great. Now you might notice on the example that I have over here, I've actually got a circle in the middle. You can actually have a circle in the middle for an axis. I'll put that in again. I put that in, I think, and I made that something like 6 millimeters. No, I think I made it 3 actually, so I'll just make it 3 again. And I'll rub away those lines. Let's rub that away, rub this away. If you have a line on something and you try and pull it, then it's not going to work. I'm going to pull that so that there's a hole. So pull that. Once again, I'm using this is what can happen. It can kind of go out like that too much. So you're going to use the end point, and there you've got a nice clean hole through. You can see the other things. Now, I've got one wheel and I want to make 4. How can I do this? I'm going to use the select tool, select the whole thing, and I'm going to right click on my mouse. Oh, before that I think I'll add a texture to it. Let's just use the paintbrush, the paint. Again, I'm going to use asphalt because that kind of looks a bit like a tire material. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe if we're talking Minecraft here, I don't know. And I'm going to select the whole thing, and I'm going to right click on my mouse, and I'm going to make it a component. Now, making it a component will just make it an object which is a lot easier to move. It's just taking a moment. Here we go. I'm not even going to name it, I'm just going to say OK. Great. Okay, so that's now a component. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that component and I'm going to duplicate it by using the move tool. I'm going to select the move tool and I'm going to press Control, and what happens is if I press Control, and it might be on your computer, it might be Alt, I can duplicate this as many times as I want. I'm going to press Control again to switch off the duplication. Now the last thing I want to do is place this, so I'm going to grab the end point. Where do we have you? And I'm going to just slot that in. This is where it gets a little tricky. So you're still moving things around. Now I've selected this component. I want to just snap it to there. There's a little bit of a gap there, that's fine. Okay, so I need to now deselect and reselect the other component and move that. Let's move that into it first and then down. There we go, that's fine. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to grab them from this side. Oh, hang on, didn't want to do that, just undo. That's back in place. Good. Yeah, I forgot to deselect the other one. You have to select the one you want to move, otherwise it still thinks that you want to move the other one. So that's a good tip. Always select the correct wheel. Obviously you want to just get this point here. Now what you might notice what I'm doing, and it's tricky, you have to have this everything in the right position, is I'm using a very kind of corner on a circumference, an end point as it's called. Hang on. If this happens to you, just use this zoom extents and it'll bring you all the way out, and then you can zoom back in. Sometimes you kind of get stuck in between a piece of, when you're up close to something. So let's choose the move tool. So I'm using that, I'm just snapping it to the very end. I need to select this last one and move it into place. Okay, hopefully, yeah, great. It's done. Right, super quick. I'm going to just show you how to use one of the last tools, which is really interesting. It's called the offset tool. And that's how I got these windows here. So what I'm going to do is just very quickly show you what it does. Is it draws parallel lines from all four sides of the outer sort of boundaries of my box, and I can also put a value on that, which I'll make 5. Now you can see there I've gone into a lot more detail on the third car. I'm just going to show you, well, I'm just going to go to the midpoint here again. I'm going to make a midpoint here. I'm going to make another midpoint here, and you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just dividing up, like halving and quartering up the shapes, and then I can use my offset again, so I can kind of make, do 5, do 5, do 5, and you know I can kind of draw a line along here and divide it up as well. And what I've done there lastly is I've just added a mirrors and glass texture when I've rendered this, and I've just added glass, for example, and then you can see through. The other one, I think I just used some colors like yellow for the lights, because that's usually what they are, and I've used like a different color for the grille of the car as well. There I've used metal, and this for the number plate, obviously. So just have a bit of fun with that once you're done. Obviously this is the more sort of advanced end where you've learned a bit about offset and also about component making. Alright, hope you found that fun, and hope that you come up with something nice and creative on SketchUp. Thanks for watching.